Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. You guys are all here for the intense rounds and the intense matches presented by the TXP Open Moba Championship back again with another new day. This is going to be another interesting, uh, matches to see, given the fact that this is going to be the last best of one series. I'm your caster Peachy, and I'm joined by Crux today. Hello, Crux. How are you doing?
What's up, Ichi? I hope everything's going good. Viewers, how's it going? Type in the comments section how your day was. Make sure that you actually, uh, stay tuned because this again, like BG said, is the last day for the best of ones. We're gonna have best of threes and more exciting games so that we actually see that each team's absolute best performance in the upcoming days. It's going to be one hell of a match right now. It's Azalea Bloom versus Megatron Esports. Who do you think has the more favoritism from the viewers? Who do you think has the most favor to win right now?
Ooh. So far, like we have seen all the good teams really coming in, with all their energies and actually winning it up. So we'll have to see which teams will be having the upper hand today. But at the same time, both the teams are no, strangers to the tournament.
I am a
So this
daughter of
is
Northern
going to
Vale.
go
I swear to
interesting.
protect it till my last breath.
Definitely,
I am
it's going
not
to be
the
one
only
hell of a
one
match. Look at the
bowing
bans
to
The
already. We've
you.
greatest
got
night
Aries
show of
Blue,
all
Guinevere getting
time
banned
is
off,
picking.
Foxia, Marcel, and Claude getting followed through. Zushin is still open and nobody's picked it yet. I don't understand why, but all in all, we've got the first few picks getting over as quickly as the first bans were just done. Freya gets picked onto the side of Team Megatron Esports. Now we've got Harley and Phobius getting picked onto the side of Azalea Bloom. AZB going to get the upper hand here because I think that getting that Harley is going to be one problem for the side of Team Megatron Esports. Obviously, the Harley is going to be able to delete the backline squishies. You don't want to just give it up for the enemies, obviously, but Zushin, again, is one of those heroes that you ban or pick if you're on the second part, second picking priority. You get the idea. I don't see that happening right now, though. Hylos gets picked.
Okay,
Time to go to the
okay.
holiday
Looks like it's
show.
gonna be
What's
Azalea, given the fact
inviting?
that the Zushin is still open and the other side might be going in for that. So it's just better to go for something already in your hands. So that is going to be the case coming in from the side of Team Megatron Esports, but for Team Azalea Bloom, they do have an option to pick up the Zushin or something like a Zatian as well. Now, again, the Zatian I feel like will be having a bit harder time against the
Fireflies
Lilia,
born by
but
thy
right in
washing
that
is
trap
guarded
that
by
Megatron Esports
lantern's
have
light.
put in with the Lilia is gonna be a Zushin.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie here, yeah. Hylos and Lilia used to be this OG combo that used to work pretty well in the upper brackets. Well, at least when Lilia
Sir,
was released
what's your
and Hylos
command?
has
Your
and
team is banning.
yeah, I think back then I think that it was a very busted combo. You got slow from the Hylos and a slow from Lilia, keeping them in place to take the full fury of damage from Lilia's spells. It was an absolute nightmare to deal with, and I'm wondering how the side of Team Azalea Bloom is going to react to this one.
Let's see. Now, onto the same note, Fanny out of the way. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a staple here forward, given the fact that the teams really are, experienced with the tournament.
I
So
am the
that
Your
power of
team
is
light
is
going to
banned.
be
incarnate.
to see. And one band's coming in. It's going to be a Kaja. Now, with the Kaja, understandable, it is really annoying when the main hero or your main carry thus gets picked off.
Absolutely. The Kaja is going to be one hell of a problem for the side of Team Azalea Blue to deal with. I mean, not Azalea Blue, Megatron Esports to deal with, so they might have just as well banned it off. Well, Azalea Bloom too, if the Harley gets caught or the Zushin, it's going to be a bloodbath. But obviously the Kaja is a hero that could be a caveat for both different teams. Both teams, so getting that banned off, I think that's a reasonable response from the side of Team Megatron Esports. What do you think is going to be the last ban, Peachy? Oh, I don't
Your
actually expect
team
it to
is
rain this one.
banning.
Ooh, I was kind of expecting something like a Yuzhong to be there, or even, something onto the EXP. I think I am missing something. Oh, the Sora. Yep, something like a Sora, but that's not gonna be the case. I am surprised to see both the teams are not in for a Sora game today.
Well, to be fair, Sora is only scary once you actually get him on a five-man coordinated setup.
True.
But again, both of these teams are skipping out on the Sora, so I'm kind of wondering what they're planning.
Sand
We've got,
rises when I give the
Your
word.
Mobius
team
getting
is
picked onto the
picking.
side of Team AZB. So I think EXP's coverage of Sora is not going to be welcome as much. But you can always put the Sora in the gold lane against the Freya. Most likely the Freya is going to go into the gold lane. So let's just be fair here. I think that the side of Team Megatron Esports, they've got some bit of control over the draft, at least with what the Freya's placement is. You can't just put him across against the Phobias, though. I think there's kind of like a stalemate going on here, but you don't know what the teams are actually thinking. So, what do you want to see in the game, Peachy? And I'm just asking the same thing to the viewers. What do you want to see? What hero do you want to see go up against Freya? Because the Phobias is going to be one hero that can actually deal with her, but he's not going to go to the gold lane now, is he?
Fight! Fight for the ultimate. Your
That's
team
true.
is picking.
That's true. I do want to see something interesting onto the goal lane as of now against this Freya because it might be a bit easy when you play it safe, but at the same time, there are a few Freyas that we have with this that just goes in for the push and not for the team fight, and that is a bit interesting to see. So, kind of curious to see how this will team will be trying to play its Freya. But other than that, Ego, he might go in for the YSS.
That's kind of possible. The YSS is still getting hovered over, but I like to see Alice getting picked against the Phobias. Kind of like puts the EXP lane in a
My
stalemate position.
gifts.
That is
Will
going to
it
be one
grant
problem that
They
the
immortality
call
side
me
of
a
Team Azalea
hero
really
or
needs
because
to
I
worry
saved
your
my
about.
team
nation
is
One
from
picking?
falling
moment
apart.
Alice jumps in with that throne of ruin, it's going to be one hell of a bloodbath. Again, a bloodbath. Kind of funny when you think about Alice being succubus and all. And he essentially gets picked off.
Ooh, Alice. I mean, kind of needed as of now because there's going to be high chance that the Hilda will be coming in and or most likely just giving out the vision. And if she overstays, that's gonna be a problem as well because in the first few five
Victory
minutes,
is in
you
sight.
will be having the damage onto you a lot. So if you're in the enemy space, that's gonna be really, really fishy. But Max, though, locking in onto that Moscow against a Freya.
I think Moskov is one of those heroes that can actually keep himself alive against the Freya. Spear of Misery could always put the distance between both of them. And obviously, you know that Freya likes to get up close and personal, especially with a Valkyrie's Ascent. She's got a bit of extra range. Moskov, Max might just actually have a fun time here. You can always put the distance between both of you. But what I'm worried about is that range boost from the ultimate, the Valkyrie's Descent. You think Freya willpower is going to be able to actually, take down the Moskov early on without the help of his teammates? Or do you think that he's going to be able to, do something alone? I'm not really sure. Both of the teams look kind of solid. Megatron Esports was Azalea Bloom. Who do you think is going to come up on top?
Ooh, I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards the YSS as of now, given the fact that Harley may be having a very good presence onto the early game, but at the late game, it may kind of fall off because you need to play
Welcome to
the
Mobile
gangs
Legends.
game, so you need to be onto the bushes camping for
5 seconds
someone,
till
especially the
the enemy
maids or the
reaches the
YSS, and that
battlefield.
kind of gets
Smash
hard
them.
since the usual
Ultras
objectives thus
deployed.
comes very quickly. So let's see how it goes. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's enter the land of dawn. This is going to be the first match, and that's the round of eight. That means only one team will be moving forward tonight, and
Oh,
it's
look
a
at that.
best of one.
Oh man, the buff got reset. I think right now the biggest problem is the fact that Hilda is trying to make sure that Ego knows his place. Karaho, I don't know what he's trying to do. There's two people against him now. But do you think he's got a standing chance of taking the blue buff? No, he's definitely not going to go for it. He's going to try and play it passively. Look at him dodging skillfully all of these traps that Livia set for him. Good stuff. Decided team Azalea Bloom try to put the early game assertion, dominance assertion, but they still do manage to at least take down the Little Wonder for themselves without any trouble farther.
That's just how they want to make sure to get the Lito as quickly as possible. But at the same time, biases, the more you come in for gank at him, more he loses his thumb. It's just gonna really be a bit of a trouble because
Yeah.
Why is this need to outfarm the enemy? So as of now, let's see into the mid lane, we might be able to get the first blood. Raul the Destroyer playing it very slave Cloud though. This is what I was talking about. It's kind of very annoying to play it against a Lilia, but Lilia not level 4. Oh, gets away and Raul the Destroyer into that.
Oh,
He's falling down now. Cloud onto the same note is falling down as well. Illusion barely surviving.
dude, I mean, in the end of the day, I think that was one of the best baits that I've seen all day. I mean, I haven't really opened up the game myself, but that is one hell of a good bait from the side of Team Megatron Esports. They were able to use that flicker to get a 2-kill advantage over the side of Team Azalea Bloom. Now, top lane getting a little pressure. I think right now, Harley still does have the ultimate. Do you think he'll actually use it against the Alice? Too tanky, I believe. So, oh, he does use it, and I think they've got the advantage here. Phoebus is way more higher on HP than Alice right now, but look at that, we've got a connection. Phoebus jumps in, Pino getting a kill onto Lilia, and that's going to be a kill, turtle secured for the side of Team Megatron Esports. Now Hilda, Rahul is actually trying to go for more. He gets one at Secure Destruction, passing by like a car on a highway, does not hit anybody.
It is. You look at them now. As of now, Azalea Bloom really painting the map red and trying to take away resources from this YSS. Now again, it is really annoying when you're a jungler and your resources have been taken away and you just cannot do anything as of now. So maybe into the mid to the late game, we will be able to see the presence of the YSS for now. But Moscow is already double lane farming. Now this is going to be really beneficial for him, but at the same time, Freya is just a little passive gameplay for now.
Absolutely. For now, at least, Moscow is starting to get the upper hand here. I don't think that's what Megatron Esports should let Azalea Bloom do. Moscow getting farmed up is the opposite of what you really want. Look at that. Rahul's position might just be compromised. They know where he is. So giving that vision out to Isan Shin and Freya would actually be, oh, look at that. He's okay. He's going to get stunned by Law and Order. Goes back with a hat trick, and he's not going to be taken down just yet because there's only Hylos and Livia. But all in all, I believe that the side of Team Megatron Esports really could have actually worked on that ambush a little better. Izo trying to do something here. He is able to skillfully secure that little wanderer, at least the after image of what it was. Look at that, we've got a connection. Freya connects. Glorious Pathway, hat trick used to actually save himself. Does not really matter. We've got the Spear of Destruction. Megatron Esports have a tough contestation here. And Cloud is taking a lot of damage. Yisun Shin goes for it. No, he does not manage to, hit them. Rahul himself runs away. That amount of little shield that he gets from the first skill kept him alive.
True though, and on top of that, look at them as of now. It is Megatron Esports really trying to put all the pressure on that, and there you go, picks up a turtle now. No contest whatsoever. The bottom lane pressure is just very high. Pino is not getting a chance to enter right there because Hylos is right there stopping them. All the Destroyer taking too much damage. No bush to enter. Will be falling down. Valkyrie Descent in a very safe position. Just trying to get out of here.
Megatron Esports is switching up the pace. They're trying to get the control here, but there's a little problem. Azalea Bloom, they've got Moscow split farming, and that's not the best thing that you want to do. Again, Moscow is kind of been like the safest person in the whole game. Max taking full advantage of the fact that Megatron Esports are not focusing down onto the enemy goal lane. And Azalea Bloom, they're taking full advantage of that. Obviously, the side of Team Megatron Esports, they need to pick up the pace, try to get the kill on Moscow, make sure he doesn't farm up as efficiently as he wants to. Because the moment he does, that's when you've got a lot of difficulties with, dealing with Fed marksman. You got a Freya, obviously, but you don't really want to have a Fed marksman swooping in with Spear Destruction and then just wiping your team out. Look at that. We've got the Glorious Pathway connection with the ultimate of Yisun Shin. Nobody. Look at that. And Rahul gets taken down. Phoebus, Pino trying to do his best to actually stay alive. Alice is throwing the Ruin, giving that important set for the side of Team Megatron Esports, but he will not be able to save his teammates. Will lose a bunch of people. Look at Freya jumping in. Hat trick is able to keep him alive for a bit longer. Harley escaping with some bit of HP. I wouldn't say that was the best course of action, but the guy, he really knew his way across the map.
That is true. Look at them. It's just how the fast the game is going in. It's just 6 minutes. The teams have started to open the map as quickly as possible. And since Azalea Bloom have decided to switch up their lanes, so that means Megatron esports are really matching their energy. But at the same time, mid lane taken down, while Sis is getting that space to get with the turtle as quickly as possible. But all the destroyer comes in now. I'm Nope is just trying to make sure to zone him out, but it's crazy. The Kobe jumping in back and forth. There's gonna be a lot of immobilization coming in, but Cloud picks up a kill, 10 strikes with attacks on him, and it's a double, making it one more illusion, though he needs to get out of the way. He doesn't find anything right there. Doesn't have the black shoes as well, so the escape was not it. But Azalea Bloom, this time around, they are making a comeback.
Absolutely, two turtles to the side of Team Megatron Esports, one to the side of Team Azalea. That ends the early game turtle fights. The side of Team Azalea really did change up the game. They did get the advantage. Like Megatron Esports really did get the advantage in terms of actually having themselves two turtles. But still, Azalea Bloom not too far behind. I think this is very good for themselves. I think that the side of Team Megatron Esports is losing on the economy part.
Oh, that is true though. Megatron was really a bit behind on the gold as of now, but at the same time, it is Ego who is the on the YSS. Now the YSS does have the ability to clear the farms very quickly. Maybe they are trying to close the gap down as quickly as possible, but as of now, Megatron Esports, the less fight they take is just how better they can come up with a plan. As of now, Super IMM all over the map. A top lane, Willpower will be the one taking down that turret.
Well,
Now, Carly though, no, I'm not seeing like much presence right here onto the team fights, but I believe he's going for the camping gameplay.
look, Harley is like one of those heroes like that has a gimmick. Obviously, he has one ultimate that locks down one enemy and then just tries to kill him with a lot of damage into DPS, and he's got an initial and final burst with that damage. All in all, I believe that Harley right now has one big problem. That's Lydia, who has black shoes. Keep herself alive. Look at that. We've got a lot of damage. Cloud following through. Hilda jumping in. We've got the Spear of Destruction connecting. Moskov here now. And that's going to be another double kill. Killing spree for the Zushin. Aphobius getting a kill. Freya getting... Okay, yeah, double kill. Finally. Thanks for making my prediction right. But decided Team Megatron Esports losing up on ground and members pretty quickly. That's not looking good. The side of Team Azalea Bloom, they can get themselves a free lord. There's only one member from the side of Team Megatron Esports. This is going to be an easy one. Mid lane pressure being applied as well.
Mid lane pressure. Now the mid lane is really, really important, and Azalea Bloom being the first one to take it down. YSS will be having problems onto jungling Star. On the other hand, taking down the Lord. Now the first Lord, it is okay for these teams to not, have it onto their hands, because the defense mode, they are very well aware on how to do it the same. But Ego, though he is alone, he knows it is very dangerous right now to actually go there, and I am pretty sure that he is also aware that the Max is just not alone. The team members might be just lurking around, but at the same time, bottom lane, the Lord's gonna jump in. There goes the Vision, the Mountain Shocker coming in from Ego. There is Vision, but they need to clear those minions. Look at them.
Oh no, they finally realized that the side of Team Azalea Bloom is all in the top lane and mid side. With the Lord connecting onto the bot lane, that's going to be another tower that's going to be taken down. Hylo's trying his best to actually tank some damage, make sure that the bot lane tower stays alive. Not going to happen, though. Glorious pathway being used. We've got Hilda trying for something. We've got Throne of Ruin connecting onto 3 people now. And that's going to be one person taken down. Nuke gets the kill on Rahul. And Zushin Cloud is able to find the kill on Super M. This is not looking like a very bad trade. Both the Romas being taken out for each other. And the problem here is Azalea Bloom got the full advantage of that Lord. They took down 4 towers, and they got 2 members off of the enemy's roster.
Now, this is the kind of trade that is working down into the hands of Azalea Bloom, and with that, they are taking all the advantage. Look at them painting the map red. Wait a minute, he's so sorry, tried to do something right there, but realizes it is not worth giving up my life for one kill. So it's just best better to get away from them since Team Megatron Esports are grouping together. Now, Megatron Esports really had a very good kickstart with, with the first bloods and everything, the early game presence, but at the same time, Azalea Bloom are the ones right now really having the dominance. Now, Ego going all alone. I mean, he does have the chance to, immune the, stuns, the crowd control comes to him, but at the same time, he needs to survive. That is really important. Cloud, on the other hand, picks up, Sky Pierce.
Oh,
So his strikes are really going good. The Cloud comes in. Max also is here trying to deal some
oh no
damage.
way.
He got the second targeted by the Skills, but Isosar. There is no the ultimate coming in, but still, that was just a failed attempt at a gank.
Absolutely. Losing Freya is going to be a big problem while willpower getting taken down too. That is one bad position after another because obviously the Valkyrie's Ascent could have been used to actually get reduce the distance between you and your own team. I don't think that was actually used well. Jumped across the fight there. I think Zushin marking you down, especially with Zushin with his Wishing Lantern, the signature item, that is going to do a lot of damage, obviously. The moment that, Zushin locked down, a flicker used, I think willpower really didn't have any option there. It was taken down pretty quickly. Look at that, they're starting the Lord again. We've got Azalea Bloom asserting even more dominance. And they've gone to continue the fight. They've started. Focus jumps in. Pino getting that initial stun. Moskov's Fear of Destruction driving by. Like always, it disconnects sometimes. Throwing a ruin, catching two people. Both of them tanky though. Will they be falling down this time? Look at that. Cloud gets taken down. Pino shortly follows through, but he's gonna take down Super M. In the course of the act, all the action that was happening, Moskov was able to push down the bot lane tier 3 tower. I think that will force them to go back. Megatron Esports got the uncontested upper hand here. Lord marching down on the mid lane. They're not going to be able to, take the Lord before it connects onto the tower. So expect a lot of damage. The side of Team Megatron Esports, they're playing high guard defense. I think it's going to be easy for them to do so. Eastern Shin's Mountain Shocker used up.
Wait a minute, Lord, though, I guess it will be cleared out very quickly, but the deadly magic for ease or this is the bit of a problem coming in with the Harley. He's not able to commit fully, and there is just getting very few chance to get a kill. Now, even with that, he's just keeping up with the amount of goal that they have, the neutral objectives, still is getting the space. It is just not much needed. Him not being the team fight is still okay, but the other teams are really, really good at picking off. And maybe somewhere along how the results is as of now at the 14th minute, Lilia as a pick and ignoring a Zushin, I feel like that is a problem.
Absolutely. Ignoring the Zushin and letting her use all of the butterfly. Oh no, wish. Wait, what? I forgot the name of the spell. Okay, Lantern Flare, not Butterfly Flare. Okay, yeah, sorry. Lantern Flare, using that, making sure that the enemies stay, on guard. I think it's better to actually keep the Zushin marked because obviously everyone knows you can't really just have a Zushin running around with that lantern doing as she pleases because the moment you do, it's going to be a big problem for the side that is facing up against her. We've got right now Mountain Chucker looking for a target. Shin hits a few hits and then decides to go back. Phobius obviously very tanky. Look at that. Harley's committing to that. He gets the kill onto the Shin. Ego down. We've got Max coming in with a Spear of Destruction. Enemies are following through with that escape plan. They're trying to run away. They are able to make a very quick escape. Narrow indeed, but look at that. One more kill probably. Okay, we've got one more kill. Cloud gets the kill on the enemies. Nuke is going to be taken down. Max doing a lot of damage. Decides to fall back. Super M also getting taken down. 3 people down for the side of Team Megatron Esports. They're making sure a lot of pressure is applied, which is a good thing because obviously you want to keep the enemies back in their base when you're taking the Lord. The side of Team Azalea Bloom have an opportunity to take down the Lord again, but how good is it going to be? Because they've used up 2 Lords already. And the side of Team Megatron Esports, they've countered it without any doubts. without any problems. Also, I think the side of Team Megatron Esports are equipped well to deal with such problems.
That is 100% true right now, given the fact that Azalea Bloom are the ones taking away almost every neutral objector right here. Now, even with so much pressure that Team AB is giving, still the inhibitors is standing very healthy. I feel like the top lane, just in just few hits, or maybe if someone just pushes down where Megatron Esports is just distracted, it might be there. But there you go, Lord's gonna come in from there, and this is just the trick for that. The heal that will be there. Teams are not moving forward. The teams are playing it safe. They are very well aware that the minion pressure will be very high, and this time around, the Lord needs to be taken down quickly. But wait a minute, Rahul is trying to find something right there because Super IM not such a great attack. But wait a minute, they are going everything on Super IM, and he gets picked up by Cloud, and that just resulted in a death. Now that the inhibitors are falling down, the Lord needs to be sent. Harley though gets fallen down. That's the prayer for you, taking the revenge for the previous team fight, but at the same time unstoppable into the hands of Cloud. Illusion. Oh, he's getting attacked by the Phobias as of now. Lino Pino right there. He will be taken down. He does have his immortality to save himself there, but triple kill for Cloud. He's trying to go for more, but Max picks it up, and the base will be down as well. Azalea Bloom for the win.
Victory!
That was one hell of a chaotic ending fight, but I am damn right happy to see a very, very well played game from both of these teams, Megatron Esports and Azalea Bloom. They put up a good fight. Megatron Esports, though, this is why you keep the Zushin banned or picked. Obviously, you decided on picking up the Freya, but the Zushin throwing it away to the enemies, putting the ball in the enemy's court, kind of like backfired here. I think that the drafting could have been better. The Lilia, the Hylos, they've been known to have synergy, but it didn't seem like the synergy worked out this time. Because obviously, all of these heroes, prefer fighting close quarters combat. Moskov, Hilda, Phobius, Zushin, these guys are absolutely a unit when it comes to close combat. And, well, obviously, that didn't really work out for the side of Team Megatron Esports, but who can complain? They've had the discipline, they've had the control of the game, at least during the early stages. So I was actually kind of impressed with their gameplay today.
Yep, that's true. Again, YSS was really annoyed right from the minute number one. That little presence from Rahul the Destroyer really made all sense. That he was not looking for kills, he was just trying to delay the farm as much as possible. And that really helped Azalea Bloom get that victory into the hands.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you here. Azalea Bloom, they had amazing synergy throughout the stages of the game, early, mid, and late. They've had a way with the way that they actually play. I was impressed with them. Well played to them. A victory well deserved. Azalea Bloom, well done. And Megatron Esports, you guys did good, but I think the commitment towards each fight that you took kind of was not on par with what Azalea Bloom had in store for you. So Megatron Esports, do work on that. And like that, we'll take a short little break. We'll be bringing the next match to you ASAP, so stay tuned.
Hello, hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, right here for our second match of the day. Now, again, this is going to be another interesting match that I'm pretty sure all of you are waiting for. It's gonna be Lunar Eclipse versus Olympus Esports. So, with that, let's see what we will be seeing today. And on top of that, to remind you guys, this is going to be the one last best of one. That means right from tomorrow, the quarter finale starts, and with the quarter finale, the teams really have to put in a bit more work to reach towards the final and get their spot into the grand finale, which, by the way, is gonna be a LAN event. So, for if you guys want, are you guys are hanging around the area, so do check out the land. Come, do enjoy. The announcement will be done in their Instagram. So don't forget to join and follow the Instagram page. Everything will be mentioned in the description box. So don't forget. And with that, are we ready for the match?
Yes, sir. We definitely are.
Different
Lunar Eclipse
perspectives
versus.
expose
Oh,
the
wait,
same
we've already got
truth.
the Marcel. No surprise there. Marcel is one of those heroes you keep banned. Obviously, Freya gets banned too. Previous game, I think Freya got a little underwhelming, but Harley definitely did his job. Made sure that the enemies had to actually keep themselves at like arm's reach. Otherwise, they couldn't actually catch Harley, which kind of like led them to losing all the team fights that happened after that. So I think Harley getting banned off, I kind of understand it. I wouldn't recommend it as a ban, but well, either way, Harley's performing good in tournaments now, so getting him banned is no surprise to us.
That is true. Last game, we definitely saw a victory coming in with the Harley. So this game around, both the teams are being really cautious about it and actually getting it a ban. Along with that, Zushin, one of the heroes which have been, has been still very overpowered and still getting banned no matter what. So no other side will be there picking it up. Other than that, I would believe we may be able to see something interesting onto the goal lane today.
Something interesting, I would actually like to see a Melissa, something according to those lines, because obviously some heroes that never really got love in the gold lane department are still there, even though they,
I am
heroes
not
like
the only
Claude
one
carry, all of
bound
them
by
actually
these
carry the gold
chains.
lane. It kind of like feels very monotonous. We've got Phobius getting banned off from this. Okay, I think that I understand what the ban feels like. They're trying to actually limit the options for control in a team fight. So I think Lunar Eclipse, they're trying to actually keep away heroes that are actually meta, that could actually pose a threat to their formations and everything. So I think the side of Team Lunar Eclipse. What do you think? No, actually, I don't have any ideas as to what they're actually going to ban now. Do you think it's just going to be a meta hero or something targeted towards the enemies? I'm not really sure. Pichi, what do you think?
I do believe it may be a bit
Magic is
meta
my
ban
life.
because it
Your
is
team is picking.
really important to see that the scaling of these heroes is really high. So it's just
Yeah, they have good scaling. They've got good early game, mid game and late game presence. So these heroes get banned
Your
off.
team is
We've got
picking.
Suyu getting picked. I'm not no stranger to the Suyu, but Uncle Hitho getting the Suyu to his side. I don't think it's like a very bad choice. Now you're giving up the opportunity for a Valentina Sora getting picked together from Lunar Eclipse. That could be a possibility. I mean, just to counter, keep the counter away, Valentina could get picked, and there's a lot of options. But well, let's just wait and see. What do you think, Peachy? Well, I don't think that I actually have an idea what the side of Team Lunar Eclipse are going to bring to the table today. Having the mage get picked, I think, would be the best course of action because obviously the jungle is picked now, and the side of team,
I've been waiting for too
oh,
long.
they go for the
My
carry.
mission is to
I
protect
don't
Your
life.
team
understand
is
why,
picking.
but they've gone for the carry Hylos as their first set. It kind of like is counterproductive, but yeah, it could work together. But the Hylos is not going to be a very big help against the Suyu because once he target locks you, you've only got one crowd control spell. The Law and Order, if you don't have it to keep your target safe, Suyu is going to wipe them out. So Suyu might just have free time just dealing with the enemies. Lunar Eclipse, I think they understand this now. They've gotten themselves the Grok Grok has been given away. Zushin is still banned, so that is not going to be a possibility. Grok and Zushin. It's going to be a very, very, very difficult position for the side team Lunar Eclipse as to how to counter that.
for a real
Okay, we've got the Kalea getting picked. I think the carry will swap to a Purified anytime soon.
That's got to be a interesting thing though. I did forget about the Suyu being open right there, and looks like it is going to be Team Olympus Esports really, having it to pick onto their hands. Other than that, I do believe to counter a Suyu, most people tend to pick up a Hayabusa, but we might be able to see that. Like, there's like 50-50 chance we may be able to see that today. But other than that, I really don't want to see a Hayabusa as a counter, but rather
Enjoy the
something
pain.
a
My
tanky
team
also
is
works. A
banning.
Fredrin might be a very good as well.
Absolutely, the Fredrin could work, but the thing is, if they want to go for that Hayabusa, yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a meta hero, so I don't think it's going to be banned anytime soon. So they still have an option to get the Hayabusa even after the second banning phase. Look at that strategic placement of the Valentina on their side, Lunar Eclipse, made sure that the enemies can't pick Sora or maybe other heroes that have a short cooldown of the ultimate. So with that, they are securing themselves the option to pick the Sora later on. Maybe they could actually swap it up and get the Yuzong or other heroes that are working pretty well for themselves in the EXP lane, Lapu Lapu, all of these heroes. Even though they don't actually have the spotlight on them anymore, they have a legacy that you can't really ignore. The second banning phase coming
Your
through, we've
team
got
is
Uranus as the
banning.
first hero getting banned off.
Valor and
And
royalty
look,
in a
Your
Leomord gets
team
dagger.
banned.
is banning.
Oh, interesting. Wasn't expecting a Leomord out of all the heroes once again, because
Leomord's a good hero.
yeah, it is a good pick, definitely, but I would not have preferred to see, a Leo mod and a Suyu competition right here. Would have been really into the hands of Suyu, but hey, Suyu might be like, very, very like 50-50. If you cut off the farm, like if you are able to see something right from the last game, how the YSS did not get a chance, they are going to have an easier
My
time with the Suyu
kiss.
too.
Your Will it team is grant
Oh, look at what the
immortality
side of Team Lunar
or
Eclipse are doing. They're
death?
banning out heroes of the EXP lane. They know that the side,
Sir,
they know that
what's
they
your
can actually
command?
pick the
Your
Sora and the
team is
enemies can't.
picking.
So getting off all those tanky frontliners, I don't understand why, because you've got Hylos to slow them down and carry to do the damage to them. I don't understand why you would want to ban them, but well, I think you want to actually put the pressure at us to, getting the better EXP laners for the turtle fights, for the objective-based gameplay. So they can actually skip out on the Sora if they want to get the Sora later on. Lunar Eclipse always has that card to play, but now I think it will be the time for them to pick Guinevere or something along those lines to keep the enemies at bay, keep them, delayed. I think that would be the best course of action. Peachy, what are your thoughts on this? Oh,
Your
turtle.
team is picking.
Okay, okay. Looks like that's going to be a Terrazla. Now, again, a really very good team fight hero, but it is like kind of dependent on the team. You need your team to come give you a backup now with how there is, Fila onto the team. I feel like there could be a combo wombo that we might be able to see, but other than that, I do believe
Malia again. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know if the side. I don't know if that's actually a good idea for them to pick the Lilia, especially if your team is like this. But look at that, Glue getting picked. I think that would actually help Lilia put more traps, and
Your
both of their
team is
spells kind of
picking.
like inter hide each other. So you got Glue spells that you are more likely to be worried about. Lilia's has less of a flashy effect. So unless of course Gloom actually goes ahead and eats that, I think until then you don't really recognize that Lilia's spells have actually connected. Because obviously you'll be focusing more on the Glue spells. I think that's kind of like a here there kind of strategy, but since they don't have anyone to actually control the enemies except for Kalea, obviously that is one hell of a control. The enemies really need to think about keeping Purify on them at all times, especially against Glue, and also Kalea. Because the moment that Blue has 5 stacks on you, before
I'm
that, you could
born
actually
with
purify it.
talent.
And to no surprise, we've got Guinevere getting picked onto the side team, Lunar Eclipse.
Ooh, this
Hey,
is
it's the husband and wife, dude.
yeah.
Sasuke and Sakura.
Yes, that is going to be a either combo wombo right here. Really curious to see how the goalie matchup would be since Claude and Carrie have been really very predictable. So I do want to see what's something different that they would do for themselves to get the farm as quickly as possible. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, which team do you guys think will be having the upper hand? Early game wise, I feel like it's going to be the Lilia as well as the Kalea having, the rotation sorted out very, very quickly. While High Loss will be trying to move around the jungler. As a fighter jungler, you need a bit of a help from your tank.
You definitely do. I think that the side of team Lunar Eclipse, they've got themselves a good, strong lineup for the late game. But all in all, I believe that, it could actually go both ways. Both of them don't seem like they actually. Okay, what is Sir Sunga doing? Is he gonna disconnect right now? 0%.
Oh man, that is not looking good. But at the same moment,
Oh, he's back.
oh, let's go. Okay, that was quick. I mean, it was kind of like maybe we may get a pause right here, but no, that's gonna be it. Looks like they will be going smoothly very soon. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you
Welcome
guys think?
to Mobile Legends.
Oh, look at that. We've got some little problem here. I think Hylos really hasn't connected as we'd like to think. The side of Team Olympus Esports, they've got themselves a good lineup for the early game. Kalea and Blue. This could be a little problem for the side of Team Lunar Eclipse. Think about it, especially during the early game turtle fights. All in all, I believe that Guinevere might actually just be able to stay alive against those guys. But what I'm wondering is if the retribution is going to hit before Kalea can use the Tsunami Slam. If not, I don't think there's going to be an easy way for them to get the objectives.
True though. And on top of that, Suyu being Suyu will be there right in front of them, trying to get it away with the soul severed combination with the retry. And I feel like that is
Yeah,
really
true.
the good combo. And that's like a plus point for the Suyu. And that is actually another reason why it is getting popular nowadays in the tournament as well, and even in ranks. I feel like it was very, it was already there onto the ranks, but now that more teams are starting to, play that hero, they are realizing why it is getting picked up a lot. And this doesn't
Yeah.
mean that if the Mia is picked a lot, the Mia will become a meta. Sorry for the Mia slander.
I think that was a little targeted there.
5
Poor
seconds
Mia.
till the
What does
enemy
she ever do
reaches
to
the
you, Peachy?
battlefield.
That is
Smash
absolutely
them.
horrendous from your side. Mia
All
deserves
troops
some love. So
deployed.
does Argus. We're back in the land of Dodd for the most. I don't know right now. I think that this is going to be one of the more equalized games. Look at that. We've already got some contests there. Kalea keeping his teammate alive. Sir Songa taking a lot of damage. That's him slowly but surely escaping all of Lilia's blooms. But he's going to be very low. Revitalize also being popped off. The side of Team Olympus Esports, they won the battle. But will they win the war?
Oh, that is going to be something we love to see, though, because as of now, both the marksmen they are on the same plane, but into the mid lane, it is Lilia who is just making sure Fila won't be getting level 2 and trying to freeze that. That is crazy. So,
Absolutely.
and I feel like
Lilia's
that. Yep, and I feel like that's gonna happen in every single lane as of now because Olympus esports are more, are trying to capture what they just don't want to give it to their enemies.
Yeah, and look at that. We've got Guinevere rotating to the top side, while Suyu is still taking his red buff. I mean, you actually have the advantages of Suyu. When you get level 3, you're able to gank. Look at that. Guinevere Spatial Migration forces out that Purify, but it still lands perfectly. Lilia gets taken down. But all in all, I think that side of Team Olympus Esports, they still do have the advantage here. They didn't lose much on the farming department, and well, let's just face it, Super Zesco, he's still alive, but do you think there's going to be any chance of him making a very big impact in the next turtle fight that's coming up? Or do you think that the side of Team Olympus Esports could actually just lose this turtle?
Olympus esports. So as of now, it
Oh,
is going to be the Lunar Eclipse with the chance of having the better advantage with the total. But at the same moment, the Olympus esports they need to start coming up, trying to gank Super Zesco already giving up that vision. He's just like reminding his teammates that the enemies are here left and right, but. Oh, okay. Ankido is already here. He's just gonna be double lane farming as well, but not for the
yep.
carry though. Okay, you're kind of curious to see why the carry did not take the advantage of the flowing river.
I mean, it could actually just be here and there. I don't think Carrie really is going to shine early on. Look at that. Blue, Money Cutie gets taken down. We've got the connection with the spatial migration. Wild Requiem, that's going to be another one. Say gets taken down. And now we've got Super Zesco trying to stay alive. That's a lot of damage. He will be taken down. Surge Songa getting the kill. Winavir, Senian is able to get the turtle down, but Lilia still alive, so it's going to be a here and there kind of like mismatch. I don't think anybody's going to take advantage of it. No tower is being pushed. But there is definitely one little buff that was taken. That's Ricky that was taken. Obviously, whoever knows about Ricky, good job. I love the way that you're keeping up with the little things in life. But the side of Team Olympus Esports, they're not looking pretty solid right now.
Ooh, more kills already into the hands of Lunar Eclipse. Look at that. Okay, in
Oh,
one lane there goes the airborne into the hands of
oh, he's dead.
Blue, but
Oh, he's not.
he dropped the split at the right time, making sure that he is alive. But I can't do the same for Sir Swama because hey, the director is here trying to shoot something right here, but no,
Oh no.
picking up the kill. The last hit was crazy.
Absolutely, and look at that. We've got Kalea's ultimate being stolen by Valentina, obviously. Oh man, I actually realized that Valentina got Kalea's ultimate before Kalea even got herself the ultimate. Before the turtle fight, of course. That is kind of like what the whole problem is against Valentina. Your opponent's roam's ability is yours basically before the first 2 minutes of the game, and obviously that's kind of like one good thing about Valentina, and I don't really see people actually using that to their advantage so much.
True. That is true, but
Oh,
it's
connection.
insane. There you go, Smiley Side comes in and see a
Oh,
really tough, crazy Suyu gameplay coming in, but Super Zesco though, he's gonna be in a chase now. Say that pops up his ice retribution, trying to make sure that
oh,
his Stanga will be closed out, but the jump coming in from Gudaver, 10 on 10, but they managed to get only the tank, so I feel like that is just not enough into the hands of Lunar Eclipse, and Olympus Esports is really turning the tides.
I was about to make a little comical reference about Sasuke and Sakura being husband and wife, but they actually did not lead too good later on. But look at that, we've got Uncle Hito getting the kill on the turtle. Oh, not the kill, but securing the turtle for themselves. And Manikiri trying to go for it. He's trying to protect his blue buff. And that's going to be a good evil queller to steal the lore. Okay, the red buff. And now we've got the connection with that beautiful spell. Okay, beautiful stun. And a lot of things happening. A glorious pathway being used up. And a lot of damage being dealt onto Azamwa, obviously. He's going to be very tanky. He won't be taken down that easily. He's trying his best, but the side of Team Olympus Esports losing up ground pretty quickly. Mid lane was taken down by Olympus Esports, but they lost the top lane. I think that would have actually been in the favor of the side of Team Olympus Esports. Nothing too much, I would believe, because, they're too tanky. They won't be taken down that easily. Hylos and Sir Zambwa and Sir Senga are still alive. They're not going to be gone anytime soon. But the goal lane, their decision making was absolutely perfect. Playing it safe, getting themselves some farm, and also pushing towers while they're at it.
That's true. That's true. So let's wait and watch. What we'll be looking forward to. But since Olympus esports are really a bit behind onto their goal, we need to think about it. Okay, look like there's going to be a kill coming in. Look like Manikuti will be taken along with Super Zesco. They are just not stopping. As for Lunar Eclipse, they are finding everything onto the possible into their hands and taking it away. Now for the same note, Say goes in for the split push. Now with the split push though onto the Suyu, it is quite possible. So Lunar Eclipse, start saving up and go to your lane.
Absolutely, look at that. We've got Kid pushing the bot lane tower now. His positioning is always pretty good, but he's going to be target locked by, obviously Kalea. He still does have a Purify. Look at that. Tsunami Slam targets the enemy hard tank. Sarasanga is supposed to be alive and well, but he's taking a lot of damage. He will be taken down by Say. And that's not a very good trade, obviously. You've got the turtle spawning in, Lunar Eclipse. They've lost the advantage with the numbers. Oh, we've got the connection with the spatial migration. That's a good Black Shoes. He's able to stay alive. A beautiful play from the side of Team Olympus Esports. The macro is bring to light how good they are. But right now, we've got Lunar Eclipse going ahead for the blue buff. Provision has been provided to Olympus Esports' jungler. Say is able to actually secure his blue buff, and now spatial migration to close the gap between the jungle camps. But the side of Team Olympus Esports, they have decided to start the turtle. The objective is being taken down by them. And the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they don't really have the desire to take the fight. I think they're playing it pretty passively here.
Now I do believe that might be a good decision though, given the fact that they'll have to start thinking about the Lord, and it's just like 109 seconds, almost a minute and a half right there, trying to make sure what they will be trying to do, because Olympus Esports is really good at setting up their turrets, while the minion management, whatever they have going on around, is just really hard for Lunar Eclipse to push it down. Yes, they are getting kills, that is true, but okay, so Nami Plan coming in from this Sorcerer Sanga. They were very sure that they could burst him down, but no, it was Black Shoes, the director. I feel like that was a very well bait, since the Guinevere did not pop her ultimate.
Dude, the director is playing it pretty passively. Well, I'm not gonna lie, this guy is actually making sure that okay. That was going to be 2 jumps in a row, obviously. I think Guinevere kind of like preemptively attacked with that spatial migration, but Kalea playing it pretty safe, did not decide on jumping into the bush. The side of Team Olympus Esports, they're not making any mistakes whatsoever. Lunar Eclipse, they're playing it passively too. Gentleman's game going on here. I don't see anybody who have a definitive advantage over each other, but let's just face it, as the game progresses, the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they've got 3 tanks. They've got Guinevere, who's going the semi-tank route. They've got the Terizla, a hero that actually has a lot of tankiness, especially when his HP is lower. And look at that top lane. We've got an off-camera fight going on. Tsunami Slam and Glorious Pathway being used up. So Super Zesco getting taken down. Sir Sanga follows right through. And that's going to be another one that leads to a double kill for Kid. Say is going to be taken down. We've got the Violet Requiem putting the high, okay. I don't think Manicutie will be that easy to take down. That Violet Requiem does a lot of damage. But Sir Zambwa is the one that actually made sure he wanted to put a point across. Olympus Esports, they lost a lot of resources here. They're not going to be able to contest for the turtle and the Lunar Eclipse. They're going to take full advantage of this.
Crazy. Lunar Eclipse just taking down the Lord as quickly as possible. Now they want to be trying to make sure to get it on, but let's see though. Olympus Esports, I feel like they will be able to defend it, so we'll have to see. But since Team Lunar Eclipse does have pick off, I feel like something might go wrong, or maybe opposite.
It could be a possibility. Let's just face it, yeah. Lunar Eclipse are very good at the micro department, but Olympus Esports are very good at the micro department. They've got Black Shoes timed perfectly. They've got Super Zesco using that Tsunami Slam perfectly. Everything that they do, the micro is absolutely good. Micro being their own control of the hero that they have. Macro from the side of Team Lunar Eclipse are very, very good, actually. They're able to take team fights and turn it around even if they don't have the advantage. And look at that. They've got now the Lord on their side, pushing the top lane. That's going to split up the enemy's forces. The bot lane blue, Manicutie is actually trying to stay alive, but he's not going to be alive for too long. Kid taken down, and that's a lot of damage from one Blazing Duet. Super Zesco using that beautiful Tsunami Slam to get himself a ticket back to their own base. Olympus Esports, they didn't really have a choice here. They had to sacrifice Super
Blue
Zesco
team
and
turret has
Manicutie.
been destroyed.
That actually led them to, defend the Lord that was coming down on the top lane. Mid lane still is intact. None of the towers have been taken down. But look at that. The minion pressure from the mid lane to the side of Team Lunar Eclipse. Absolutely crazy. They weren't able to take down even the top mid lane tier 1. I think that'll change now.
Blue team turret has been
Ooh.
destroyed.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's see how it will be going around because for Olympus Esports, they really did a very good job on saving up at least, two tier twos, but I feel like that's going to fall down as quickly as possible. Wait a minute. Super Zesco.
Oh,
Hey! There comes the Purify for the director. Super Zesco does pick up the Tsunami Slam, trying to make sure
good
they are
crowd.
playing into the turret, taking on too much damage. Welcome to the Saiyan. And once again, it is Shanga who does get, taken down as well. Godlike for this carry. Carry is just uncatchable, even with a Suyu.
Yeah, not just a Suyu, yeah. You have Super Zesco with Azalea. You can catch the carry, but he's always got to purify when he's engaging in a fight. So Super Zesco really does not have an option to jump on him. And we've seen that repeatedly happening a few times now. The side of Team Lunar Eclipse are taking full advantage of the fact that the side of Team Olympus Esports, they're playing a gentleman's game. And, well, let's just face it, in this team fight, they did lose up two of their most important members, but they're back now, and they will be able to be a reckoning force in the Lord
Blue
fight
team
that's coming
turret
up.
has been
Top lane,
destroyed.
we've got Say pushing down towers. They're going to steal the red buff, but the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they've got the advantage now. I think they're purifying. Okay, we got now Cloud using the Blazing Duet. But Kid is still there to take him down. That's a lot of damage from him. He's going to get a double kill. That's not just a Cloud, it's absolute mayhem. Sir Sangha gets the kill on the Director, chases down the enemy Roamer. Super Zesco trying to run for her life. But her husband, Sasuke, obviously Sakura, yeah, you get it. Look at that.
Blue
We've got the
team
Tsunami
turret has
Slam
been destroyed.
into an absolutely crazy stall here. That stud has just broken the game.
Oh my goodness. Looks like we will be witnessing another pause coming in, and uh, the way the side of the lunar eclipse are moving around, holy moly, they are just, they give everything into the hands of Carrie, and now the Carrie is just bursting down every single one.
You're right, dude. I mean, if you give Carrie farm, he destroys. Okay, Carrie. She destroys everybody equally. Okay, there is no tank. There is no squishy that could actually stand up to a Carrie and say I can survive because Carrie does a lot of damage in terms of true damage. So popping up the Winter Crown not going to save you. You've also got to make sure that you've got a lot of HP, and then most squishy heroes can't really afford to take that route. They've got to make sure they actually got the damage, because obviously everyone expects them to do the damage. Claude obviously did not expect the carry to do that much damage. Kid was absolutely stomping there, and that's no discrimination to tanks, squishies, or whatever you bring to the table.
Oh my goodness. This game though, it's just like a little bit of a push and pull. Olympus Esports
Absolutely.
just are trying to just stay afloat a lot. So, and on top of that, they are like, they do have the potential to win this game, but oh,
What?
huh?
Huh?
Victory.
No way. No way, Olympus Esports. What are you guys doing?
We don't know what they're doing. They actually just, hid it from us. I don't know what to say now. Kind of underwhelmed because I couldn't see the ending of the game. Uncle Hito only managed to die once. That's kind of like that is an achievement. But let's just face it, if he dies, I think nobody can defend as good as him. The side of Team Olympus Esports, they end up taking the loss here. For the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they showed us what good macro looks like. The patience was very, very well liked by all of us. I bet everyone actually loved to see both of them play. but there can only be one winner, and today it's going to be Lunar Eclipse. Well played to you guys. I think the draft in itself, having three people frontline and two of the remaining heroes could be anything. One utility, one burst, carry obviously. So I think their draft kind of like spoke volumes here.
Agreed. And on top of that, they really put a lot of emphasis onto the team fights, like the Guinevere, the Terizla. Look at them, team fight participations. Everybody is above 50.
Well, not as much as Olympus Esports. Everyone's above 60.
Yeah.
And that's only, Uncle Hito who was farming that has 60, everyone else 75 plus. Absolutely crazy. I think, Olympus Esports played very well. But again, like I said, there can only be one winner, right, Peachy?
That's true. Not, I wasn't happy with the Olympus esports. Just, finish the game early. But hey, look, congratulations to the team Lunar Eclipse for moving forward and securing a spot in this tournament. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget before we go, to get the updates, that's going to be onto the Instagram. Do follow it up, and there's going to be a lot of events coming. So stay tuned. We'll take a short break and we'll come back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, welcome back to the TXG Open Moba Championship, and this is the pilot edition. And we are once again very happy to cater our viewers because it's always a good time. And I'm casting with Debbie, isn't it, Debbie?
Yeah, I'm
Say
pretty
yes.
excited.
Yeah.
What do you think I would say?
Maybe no.
Because no, I would say yes.
Okay,
Because now
that makes me happy.
we have. Of
Yeah.
course, you got to be, man. Because now we got to see the girl, or the only girls team that we have in this tournament to be playing against Team Malevolent, right? Fireflies versus Malevolent.
Yep, most likely so. Let me just cross-check so we do not miss out on any kind of info. But
Okay.
even though with everything being, the last game was really intense. I was watching it a little bit, and I think now we are getting the feeling that we are finally in the top 8.
Yeah. Okay. This is what we are actually waiting for, right? So this can be a little bit tricky. You cannot really predict what's going to happen. But what
Yep.
we can know is that the draft is already set in. I'm pretty sure for Fireflies, the draft will be amazing. Finally, someone heard my plea all the time. Claude,
Yeah,
man.
I saw somebody drafting for Team Firefly, so I do not have any complaint. I know Debbie knows it as well. So well, yeah, Debbie, we know why, but it's okay. I think they are using all the resources that they have, and it's a good thing. Like you taking help or whatever, be it. I think it's very important, and we can really look forward to the draft, especially Debbie can for this particular game. But ooh, I like it. I like the Alice and the Suyu startup here.
Yeah, at least it's like a comfort for Fa as well. You could know that she has been very comfortable onto this hero, always been picking it up. But now onto the other side, I see that the Juxian and the hero is very prioritized. I think Malevolent do understand that with the Juxian only, that's gonna be onto the utility side, so they need a kind of a burst damage into the magic department. So they made it up with the Juxian, I mean the hurry. So this is very understandable. Now I am actually scared for the Zero here is gonna be struggling just a little bit. You cannot really go on a solo killing spree against the Harris, right? So they kind of
Yep.
need another bestie hero, in the mid lane.
Mm,
Particular.
they do. I think they can just still pick up the Leo mod just to be safe here, but I also like the Zushin and the Hylos combo because it's very easy to actually just lock onto the Lantern Flare with the slowdown that the Hylos provides. So it works in a very good combination, but I think it's still a little bit too magic overloaded from the side of Team Malevolent as of now with the first 3 picks. I also like the Lilia here because recently we have seen the Lilia doing so much damage from the early game, and something that is quite useful when you have a slow late, like not a slow but a late game hero. Wait, what is the right word? Not essentially the early game, but the mid to late game hero like the Alice. And to complement on that with the Lilia, you have the Suyo. So it works pretty well in in a duo fashion.
Okay, like I said, Lilia is very fitting here because they already have a big AoE with the allies, right? This is a very good setup. But I do still think that maybe they
Okay.
they are actually going against this Juxian. So they were directly going for the Lilia. It's gonna be a no high kill pressure against the Lilia, right? You have ways to survive, and against the Hylos as well, you do really, really well with the zoning potential. So now, for Malevolent, they bent away the Kaza, right? This is a very pick-off hero, but I do not think that Fireflies would go for the Kaza because they don't still have a combination yet, right? So Leomord, like you said, will be bent away. So what else can be bent here, though? Malevolent?
Mm, I think they can still ban on the roamer here. Perhaps they can just get rid of the Kalia just to be on the safer side, or I don't think the Kalia will be that much of a choice, because given the fact that how far we have seen Team Fireflies, they're not the ones to just prioritize the Kalia. Instead, they would like to go for something a little bit on a different route, but still, you do not want to take the risk with the Kalia being left open, because that kind of puts your Harith at a tough spot because he cannot freely dash around. But nevertheless, I think there is still a few good options like the Khalid being open if they want to just, take the roaming to a different level. But I'm not too sure about the Grandeur against the Harith though.
Granger, I think it's kind of a safer choice.
Okay, if you say so.
I feel like it's like most of the time when you see a Granger being picked off, like it's like only after everything has been gone. But in this scenario, I think the Granger is much more for them to try go for a safer route or even a comfort as well. So I'm not actually complaining. But now it will be dependent on what Malevolent pick off that will make it. It will tell us if it's gonna be good or not. If it's like something of an assassin, I don't think.
I expect the glue here. I expect the glue. Oh no. Okay.
No, it's not good.
Like you mentioned, it's not good at all because there's a lot of dive coming in from the side of Team Malevolent, and they're just going for the Hilda here. I mean, at least it's good against the Hayabusa, but overall, I don't think so. The Hilda will have that much of a presence in the map, given the fact they have a Hylos and a Zuxin out there on the opposite side.
That's what I'm worried about too, man. I think actually the job of the Hilda is pretty clear though, right? Just be nuisance into the jungle, right? And I don't think anyone is there for her to actually focus on, right? Other than the Hayabusa, because I don't think you'll be able to kill out the Haris as well. It's gonna be a little bit tough to even focus onto the Juxin, because Juxin is like a hero that is very very tanky if you compare it to the mages, right? Because she does always bring the Brave Smite too. This is kind of tough, but everything will be into the hands of onto this Elise, because she is the only setup that they have, and Granger usually needs a very good frontliner so that he'll be able to work it out. But we'll see though how the execution goes on, because draft really doesn't matter in this tournament for as long as I remember.
Oh man, don't remind me like that, please. We have seen a lot of good things about that thing again. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, welcome into the Land of Dawn for this third game. It's gonna be Team Malevolent versus Team Fireflies, and I believe it's again a best of one, so the round of 8 is not any easier than it was than the previous round. So the team moving on here will have definitely much more fun. But as of now, I want to ask a quick question. Debbie, what do you think about the Lilia on a Purify in this game?
Yeah, I don't mind, because you can actually have a lot of ways to survive, because with the Purify you can actually purify at the Hayabusa shadows, right? So they can also pick a big one. But look at mid lane.
Wait, they're trying to go in really low on towards the HP. Is gonna be Uranus, but it's not the Uranus, actually the Hilda. His name is Uranus, guys. So she's gonna go back, but then again Fi is trying to hold the front line, but an Al is on level 2. I don't think so you have that much of a presence, my little friend Sayu, for now. So go back to the lane, get level 4.
Okay. Alright, so focusing a bit onto the XP lane side as well, this is gonna be actually a good lane for Fa here, because there is an Elise, and Elise does really well against the Yuzhong to the early phases of the game. But yeah, it's like these two XP laners are usually coming in handy only when there are team fights or objective fights. Both of them does really well onto the start of the objective, so the first hurdle will be dependent on how well the execution goes on, because it's got kind of a skill matchup when you're trying to go for those objective fights. And very very good rotation coming out from Shen as well, trying to focus at least onto the top lane side so that they'll be able to have a good lead onto the LAs, compare it to the Yuzhong as well. But bot lane, look at that.
Oh, I know they want to get the kill onto his Lunar Bay, but I don't know if there are enough members to deal the damage out there. They need to back off for
Yeah.
now, just for the safety. The turtle is up, and I don't think so. Whips is gonna have the ultimate ready for the turtle fight, and that's a very good positioning coming in. Does he know he doesn't? Now he does. He have the shadow to get out. Not really fast. Secures the first kill. Really good engage, but now there's the knock up as well as the pressure fire onto his 3 members. Your peel is going in, takes down Uranus, fires low as well. Does have the throne of the ruins for now. No, he doesn't actually, but they're trying to back out. But there is a Zukshin that does not let you. Now comes Cap. He's trying to deal the damage with the Chrono Syncophrician. Chrono Dash on the Syncophrician, of course, but then again, Sen is a little bit low, can back out still. Euphoria there too. Sass is going in with the Flicker, gets the kill onto his Sen. Not really going easy, but how will she get back out is going to be the question. The Purify bit it out from Euphoria, but still Sass lives to tell the tale. And now Uranus is low as well. The Shadow kill, will it be enough? Not nearly. There's a Glorious Pathway too, but nobody can go up to the turtle. It's going to be Team Malevolent securing it for themselves.
Yeah, the setup has been made by Free Fireflies, but then again, it was turned around by Yapils onto the Yuzhong. What a perfect way to maneuver around the map. He was a bit too late. He was late, but he did know that when he goes in again, get the 35 onto the perfect members, he will be able to turn the tide around, and that's exactly what he's doing here. So this kind of made them win out onto those objective team fights, even though they were losing on Vips onto that neutral objective, but they were able to hold it long enough to get into their hands. So now what looked like Fireflies were doing good, it looked better now for Team Malevolent.
Absolutely, but then again, Uranus has to pop the Flicker, the Ogi Shadow kill there, but now she does not have a way out. Down goes the Hilda from the team fight. Now the struggle is going to defend another team fight that can come their way, but for now it's going to be a little bit less aggression coming in from Team Malevolent. They know the fact that they do not need to overextend their lead. They're doing it pretty safely, but then again, Sen needs to find some kills. She needs some damage here. She's lacking it quite considerably. Oh, wait, Euphoria, what? Why did she use the black shoes? And now she could have been in a problem. Pops the Purify. And that's a huge information to Team Malevolent there.
But I still think that this might eventually be in favor for the side of Fireflies, because the Purify will not be up in the turtle time. And, Purify, if you compare it to the Purify and the Black Shoes, the Purify is so much more important under the Yuzhong, because it's going to be the main setup for the team right now. But Glorious Pathway, this is going to be, wait, what? Another resource being burned away. This looks like Malevolent will not be having the resources that they need to take the turtle.
They are being too generous at this point, Debbie. They're being too generous. I don't know why, but it's like, just take the turtle at this point, because you do not have the Crimson Beacon, you do not have the Glorious Pathway. How do you even engage and how do you even escape the team fights? Your Phil will definitely have that Black Dragon form, but Lunar Bay, Kohima 1v1 down in the bot lane. Far still they're trying to hold the front end, but look at the back line. Yapil is there and trying to deal the damage. Far goes in! Amazing Throne of the Ruins. The turtle will be getting secured, but now Vips is gonna go in, deal the damage. They take down Far. Now they are eyeing on Uranus. She will fall, but Sen trying to secure the kill, but he has enough sustain. He will get the kill, but there is no escape route whatsoever. And that's another kill, and Vips will now be able to get his hand on the buff. No, they will not let that happen.
One turret down below already taken away with the turtle traded out. Again, everything is in favor for the side of Malevolent here. I would really like if Fireflies went for the fight when they know that the Purify was used, the Crimson Beacon was used, and the Glorious Pathway was used, instead of trying to start for the turtle here. I would presume that they would do that, but still, it was a very perfect second means from Far, but then the follow-up damages weren't enough, weren't good enough to take anyone down there. But looking at the build so far, I feel like Sen is trying to go for a Sky Piercer still. Mid lane though, Uranus, she's got to be careful, man.
Yeah, Sass going in. There has the Crimson Beacon. Flicker pop out from Uranus. It's still trying to fight it down. But the Flicker pop out from Lunar Bay. The shadow is not yet there, but you can see the Shah residue dealing a lot of damage. There comes the Hayabusa. Goes in, but the Ogi Shadow kill will be actually still keeping the damage intact. I mean, Euphoria is still surviving it with the black shoes for now. But that's going to be the purple buff taken away. Man, oh man, these team fights are going crazy. Another Throne of the Ruins up in the top lane Far. I think that's enough. You need to go to rest. That's what Team Malevolent is saying, not me. Don't blame me out there. But again, you can see Euphoria getting pushed back onto the mid lane. It needs to back out again. The Hayabusa does have the shadow. One more hit should do the work. But does the hit come through? Not yet. And it doesn't really matter. They get the turret anyway.
Yeah, this is still gonna be in favor for the side of Team Malevolent here. Now it's kind of like whenever they are trying to go for the fights, they are just gonna be forcing everything and every resources that they have so that they will be able to pick something off. And even if they don't, they are able to trade out with the turtles here, the turrets here and there. So this is kind of a clean movement coming through from Malevolent, but Sen.
Glorious pathway down. They're trying to take another fight. They have the Crimson Beacon out there. Lantern Flare picking up. Uranus still trying to survive it through, but has a sustain. Will live to tail the tail, but Whips on the other hand takes it down the turtle. Sen trying to run. Will survive. Team Fireflies, they're trying to avoid the fight head on, but they know the shadow with in the shadows there lurks the Hayabusa trying to still take another fight. Will steal away the orange buff too, and that's more resources. 11 to barely level 9. Suyu not looking too good. Yeah, Phil out there, but will back out.
That's definitely going to be a good sign for the side of Malevolent here, because they kind of need that level lead and a bit of a snowball into the hands of the Hayabusa. Even though he doesn't really have the kills, he's been able to maneuver around the map very, very freely. That's the Shadow did to you. And now, even if they want to go for the fights, they will be able to do so because the Shadow kill has been dealing enough amount of damage. Look at the builds. He got the Sky Pusher. He haven't been able to get out the stacks just yet, but he already got the Hunter Strikes. That's definitely going to be good enough, but then he's going to be needing at least one more item so that he'll be able to get out into the backlines again. Before that happens, Fireflies, they need to do something about this Hayabusa, try to stop all the farms that he have, and don't give him the goal. But then again, the problem arises, right? If you want to focus on to Vips, there's always going to be the cap onto the Harris that's always going to be farming onto the sides, and when he's out of the lane, he's definitely going to be dealing some damages.
Absolutely, Whips getting engaged on, but we'll try to engage back onto the side of Team Fireflies. The Shadow Kill being used up, but not enough damage. Here comes the Black Dragon from your Phils. Wants to look for a target. Uranus might be the one they're looking for. Glorious Path down, but they can find their range. Not enough. Fire's there, but they are still trying to back out safely, but securely at the same time. A lot of resources burned down, but was it enough though? Was it like worth it though?
I'm pretty sure the dragon was actually premature, man. They did not even bait out anything with the Shadow Kill. If they had baited out at least the Purifier, could have been good enough. But then again, looking at the way the side that the Lord's gonna be spawning for Vips. Wait, what? I thought he went back. That's not a really good sign, man. Dying just before the lore is spawning up. I think he was trying to set up for the far lanes. He got caught into that middle, I guess.
Yeah, I think he thought that there's nobody out there to support him. That was the
Yeah.
problem. But now you can see already engaged onto his knees. So, but the Glorious Pathway back will heal him back. There comes the Alice along with the Uranus, but still, it's not going to be enough. The Hill are trying to hold the front line, but still the Black Dragon is on CD. They cannot go in. No jungler for now. Will be back up though. But then again, the fight is not working in the favor of Team Fireflies. Euphoria will fall first, and now Sengekin down next. Yapil will get another kill. Lunar will trying to run away, but the Shah rescued. Will it be enough? No, it just keeps him barely alive, but far isolated, taken down. And this fight belongs to Team Malevolent, and so is the Lord.
Oh, this is what I was thinking about when I say that if they focus on Vapes, there's always going to be Gap to Cap who does the thing here. And now with the setup that he have, and finally getting the Holy Crystal under 10 minutes of the game, a very, very good farm that he have onto the Harriers right now. No wonder he was able to burst everyone down, and Euphoria was, even if she used that Black Series, he's going to just go back into the place that she just escaped from, and that's not really a good sign. She's going to die anyway, so everything looked in favor for the side of Malevolent here. They might eventually take this turret down when the Lord comes in. They still have time for the Lord to come. They can prepare the side lanes here, take the turret down below as well as the mid lane.
Absolutely, but now you know that they have enough level lead, right, Debbie? So
Yeah.
I think with the amount of damage they have, they can easily take anybody down. And let's not forget the amount of crowd control they can provide from the members. You look at the items, you can tell the difference too.
Yeah, this is very rich. Stan is yet to get the stack onto the Scarpiercer. Same for Vips, but right? But if you compare it to the goal laners here, the Harry's already got the damages, and meanwhile for Lunar base, he's still struggling to dish out those damages. Hunter Strike, Scarpiercer, but look at mid lane.
Oh, Uranus getting stuck up. There's gonna be the Glorious Pathway down. Ogi Shadow Kill popped up as well. Damage is there, but not enough yet. to take them down. But the tower on the mid lane, second tier falls. The Holy Shield will pop up on the mid. The Lord on the bot lane still marching. Holy Shield is there. I think it can be defendable yet. They're still trying to push it ahead on. The Black Dragon not yet used the Glorious Pathway down. So they're still holding on the resources, waiting for the next lot perhaps, or waiting for a mistake from Team Fireflies. But they're playing it safe.
I'm kind of worried even into the later part of the game, right? Because
Oh.
was that a kill?
Survives.
was-
Black shoes. Clutch black shoes.
That is the Lilia we're talking about. It's kind of safe. It cannot be taken down that easily. But look at the force though.
They're trying to force it in. Glorious Pathway along with the Black Dragon will be enough for them to take down the inhibitor on the mid lane. Now the fight might begin again. The Harry trying to dash in and out. Decap, he's trying to go in. Goes in instead. Gets an amazing Glorious Pathway. Not a Glorious Pathway, with the Throne of the Ruins. But then again, they cannot convert it. Hayabusa still holding on the Ogi Shadow kill. But they have done the work. They have taken down 2 inhibitors. I think that's enough.
Nice discipline coming through in the hands of Malevolent here. They got 2 turrets down, and without even a kill, it's still gonna be good enough in favor for them. 30 seconds is what they need for the Lord to come through here. Now, even for Fireflies, I'm kind of still worried about the late game here. Their lineup and their composition is made to win the early stage of the game. Like, of course, the Lilia comes very handy for the early game, but the power spike comes in the mid game. But look at that, Grace Pathway.
Another one. They're still trying to go for another one fight, but Euphoria, she's running out of luck this time. The 9 lives that she have is not enough this time around. It's falling apart. Team Fireflies, they're falling apart. They're not able to stick together. It's gonna be an isolation. Lunar is still trying to survive, but there is the dive coming in from the field to take her down. Uranus survives though, but the waves are not yet cleared. Sen will be there along with the 2 members, but the base is gonna be the target. Sen running out of HP. Nizo falls first, Sen up next, and now they're getting members after members, and the last remaining one will be the base. And Team Malevolent, they eliminate Team Fireflies, the only girl squad out of the tournament.
They did put out a good fight, but amazingly well done, Malevolent, with the way that they maneuver, with their draft, the way that they were playing, calculating their moves and their engages time and again, giving no way for the hands or Fireflies to come through. Yeah, we could see good sets coming through from far most of the time, but the follow-up damage just wasn't there. You know, usually when you use a trio, the main focus you want to go for is try to get a quick pick-off into the goal lane side, but it wasn't. It cannot happen. It couldn't happen because Malevolent, they were like, yeah, you will not let you go anywhere near the gold lane. And the fact that still Lunabe got solo kill by Gap Decap kind of provides so much more for this Harry, that he was so rich onto the goal and just it wasn't enough to stop anyone down. This is also one of the reasons why I kind of wanted a bit of a, burst damage into the mid side, but if it was any other mazes, he would have been getting fed upon by the Hayabusa. So either way, it was still Fireflies going for the safer route.
Indeed, but I still feel the Hilda and the Grandeur were quite forced into this draft. I mean, there might be not too many options that they could go for, but still it was a little bit forced in. There could have been a little bit different choices that they could have gone for perhaps. And overall, they needed that early game. They even had a very good early game start with the Lilia, but I don't think so. It was long-lived. It was very short-lived, and they could not convert out of it. They were trying to get the Grandeur fed. They were trying to get the Suyu fed, and they also needed the damage from the Lilia, and all these things to be done together is a little bit over expensive, I feel. And overall, I think the way Team Malevolent played, they were just trying to choke the side of Team Fireflies into their own play, that they want to play aggressive, we will take the fight to you. And that's where they kind of stumbled in a way, that they were not able to find a direction where to go or whom to target. And while they were trying to figure it out, somebody was really farming freely, and that was Gap Decap. Nobody remembered him. And the moment you forget there's a Harith just free farming, son or daughter, God bless you.
That is a very well farmed Harris that we are talking about, and he was able to do so much more, man. Unfortunate, but a good fight coming through into the hands of Fireflies, but we gotta say goodbye to them in this tournament. But they come a long way, right? Top 8 is not really an easy feat, but congratulations to Team Malevolent for making it to the next round.
Absolutely. They played quite well. Both the teams played quite well, and I think they should be proud of themselves. But it's going to be a much more happy timing for Team Malevolent. However, for Team Fireflies, it was something that they can really learn upon, and it was very good. But for you guys, don't forget that this is gonna be the TXG Expo, TechX Gaming Expo. At TXG Expo, you can expect multiple gaming tournaments, B2B opportunities, cosplay for game character only, tech exhibition, game development booths, giveaways, the important panel speaker, tech product display, panel discussion, question answer session, company merc, food, live music, and much more. I know Debbie's already telling me, just shut up, Shinryu. I know this thing by now. I definitely know she knows that, but what about you guys? Do you guys know that all these things are happening? Also, they have an upcoming inter-college MOBA 5v5 tournament, which will be the major highlight for students and college teams as well. So we're really hoping that this get-together brings a lot of opportunities for everyone involved in it. But for now, the teams that were involved, we already got the answer for this one. But Debbie, I think the match everyone has been talking about lately is still yet due. Team Silly Monkey Esports versus Kohima All Stars. So
That's
Debbie
gonna
just
be
went
next up,
silent.
and
Yeah,
we'll wait.
yeah, yeah.
What?
Debbie was too stunned. Debbie was too stunned to speak, ladies and gentlemen. So let her give us some time. She comes back, and by the time she comes back,
Okay.
we will be bringing you back the action again. So see you on the other side. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. See, we are so excited. Debbie's so excited. Debbie just said, let's skip the intro and directly jump into the draft. And here we are, just because of Debbie's request. We are bringing you the action directly from the draft, not from the Land of Dawn yet. But, I mean, just hold on.
Why do you want to hold on?
Because there is a song, Hold On, I Still Want You. But nobody
Okay,
wants
man.
me. They want the teams.
All right, we won a team, and we have a player here. That's my goat, man. RNTX Witch.
So you need to hold your excitement. Hold your excitement,
Okay,
buddy.
okay.
Hold your
I
excitement.
gotta slow down.
Yeah, yeah. But then again, Silly Monkey has one of my brother. Shout out to Jackie for really doing so well, coming this far, and really excited to see how this game turns out. But the bans, Debbie, something you need to put your eyes on instead of your goat.
Okay, sure, man. Let's see the bands. Harriet band finally coming into against Kohima All Stars, and that's definitely going to be a good sign. The Boksha band as well. That's Ryan's specialty. And Freya is nothing much you can say about the Freya. It's just going to be banned no matter what the situation is. Looking at the band so far for the hands of All Star here, we got the Carry, the Juxin, as well as the Marshall. First pick, Corey, will be. Wait, do you want to first pick a glue?
I mean, maybe they're just trying to deny it at this point. Perhaps that's the idea.
I'm born with
I mean, it's gonna be a Rome glue anyway, right? I don't think so. Oh wait, yeah. It's gonna be a Rome glue anyway because they can flex it still. Like there is a flex option available for them, but there's gonna be a Guinevere coming from the other end, along with the Claude, one of your favorite, against your goat.
There we go. Wherever my goat is. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, whatever the thing is, Claude is definitely going to be the top choices into the gold lane, and now it's going to be limited, right? We did see that Harriet and Carrie is taken away, so Fate does have a lot of opportunities, a lot of options in his hero pool, so that is not going to be a problem. But still, I still feel like the glue first week is very icky. But then again, maybe Silly Monkeys might eventually bring out something that can counter this glue because, that can be a punishment for picking it up first. But now that I think about it, what will be the choices here? Suyo is still open though.
Yeah, but we're talking about Rarin, right? This dude will just pick up anything that he wants, even this hero on a retribution. That's gonna be Lapu Lapu. You see how crazy this dude is? Don't tell me you're playing it on retribution. I think it's just a flex that they're keeping for now. But then again, ladies and gentlemen who are just joining in for now, this is going to be Team Kohima All Stars onto the blue side, and their opponents is going to be Team Silly Monkeys onto the red. And this is the best of one. This is the round of top 8. From here, the teams directly move into the semi-finals. This is the quarterfinals, that is. So the last pick from Team Silly Monkeys is yet due. So what do you want them to pick? The Yu Zhong. I would rather like an Alice here.
Desperately needs.
The Yuzong against. Oh wait, still gonna be. At least would have been so good against the glue. But nevertheless, it might eventually work out again. But the Lilia very prior to the mid-side, the Moscow ban again. Holy! If it's another Grandeur ban, I'm pretty sure Fate might eventually have to pull up the Bruno. But with the ban on the Valentina, what are they trying to go for? Don't tell me it's gonna be Isora goal lane.
We are talking about Team Kohima All Stars. They can do anything they want, right? So we are yet to know what they want to go like. But again, the ban that you mentioned, will they seriously brand the Grandeur here? Because if they do, then Fate still have the option to flex the Lapu Lapu on the gold lane, mind you.
Oh,
But they're banning the Suyu instead. I think it's a good read, good deny as well. But the side of Team Silly Monkeys, they also needed a jungler. So what do they go for here though? Leomord?
I still think maybe just put the Guinevere in the jungle, man. I don't like Guinevere in the room. The setup can be
Okay.
there, but you can still bring the Kalea so that you'll be able to go for the combination that you will be able to have a good mid lane prio as well, especially against the Lilia too. Valir ban.
Wow.
Okay. Are we expecting a Fredrin jungle? But that too, it's gonna be against a Guinevere, so I'm unsure what Roden will pick here.
I mean, he does have the Hanzo as an option. If I be very, if I go very deep into his hero pool, like he can still pull up the Hanzo, he can still pull up the Joy as well. The Joy could be another option that he can go for. And apart from that, the Leo mod could be something that he would like to play but denied here. They're still going for the Guinevere Roam, and the Leo mod been put into the jungle. Okay, so it's definitely a grandeur for him, and I don't think so he would like to give away the Fredrin anyway soon, because that's his favorite hero.
Yep.
You look at Rarin, you call him Moba Rarin for a reason, right? Our Mr. Ashtz has given him that name, Moba Rarin. Why? Because hey, here we know the reason now.
There we go. Last
There
pick.
we
I
go.
still think the Guinevere Rom is a very bad option, man. Something I don't see any other
It's
teams.
it's
do
good though.
unless
It's good. It's good against the
Against the-
Fredrin though.
Against the Fredrin is good, but it's gonna be a bit tricky against the Lapu Lapu, against the Lilia. You will not be able to get him that easily. So I'm kind of skeptical.
Hmm.
But if they pick out the Farsight, it would be so good. Farsight is
I like the Faramis better.
No, Farsight, man, come on. AOE in the mid side will be able to handle out the Granger as well. It's
I think
alright,
it would have been a better zoning tool for the side of team Silly Monkeys, right? The far side that you mentioned. But the Z-Team is also decent, I would say, not the bad option, because they can actually have a better time contesting for the neutral objective. But two Purify coming in from the side of team RNTX, I'm sorry, team Kohima All Stars here.
wait.
I was just reading which name. My bad. I was just reading which name. I just realized that it's not RNTX. My bad. Then I just saw Rarin. Then I saw Fate. I was like, no, this is not RNTX. What the heck? But Kohima All Stars, yeah, Kohima All Stars, like everybody's there, bro. Everybody. Darwin Games, Gyan Gaming, Meta Ninja, IQ, RNTX, and Autobots. Like, what the heck is this lineup? It's a cheat code. God forbid.
God forbid, but they are here, man. Silly monkeys have to pull up something up their sleeve to try to bid against this all-star lineup. No wonder they're naming themselves Kohima All-Star. But we're still gonna see though, because Yu Jong specialist will be coming through as well. We'll see how, I'm not a fan of a Guinevere Roam, but I hope Kian here prove me wrong, and just if it's right. Maybe make Kohima All-Star run for the money.
Yeah, I mean, Silly Monkeys, a lot of expectations are on you guys for people who are thinking that Kohima All-Stars are playing this tournament as a cheat code with this kind of started lineup. So it's all upon you guys. Let's see if you can break the sweat from these people, or will they just triumph again like they always do. But again, this will be a very good experience for you guys, but there's a good jump coming in from the early game. It's the Land of Dawn we are in, and you can already see a very aggressive start from both the sides.
Yeah, this is gonna be the aggression coming through on the Lilia here, my goat, just joning everyone away. But usually the Z-Team have a good time, and he's gonna be prevented from getting drawn away. But what can you do against a Lilia combination with the glue on top of that? So Noir onto the other side. Doesn't this guy play a mean Fanny? Could have Fanny, right? Too bad.
I think. Too bad, yeah. I mean, I think he's just holding it back, but this is just a best of one, right? So they will not get the option against another jump connecting, but there's no Violet Requiem to convert into it. They're still trying to poke them down, but you can see Dazai does not have the flicker. Could be very detrimental for him.
Now that the flicker has already wasted a pay, no much of a surprise that will come through here. But onto the other side, at least they have a very good winning lane into the top side for Zaki here onto that Yu Jong. But nevertheless, you cannot really have the benefit. Oh wait, he didn't win. It's actually getting frozen. Both the lanes are frozen, so not really a good sign what they are doing here. So for the side of Kohima All-Stars, with the combination that they have so far, they will be able to start onto this turtle very early on. But still, I would love to think Silly Monkeys do have the resources, the way to try to go in for the turn because of the presence of the Leo mod here. Alright.
Yeah, again, there's going to be a fight starting up. You can see Noir trying to go in. Yeah, but still, can he survive is going to be the question, because Ranin is there with the praises. Rad bonk that head. Takes him down, and that's going to be the jungler taken down, and no turtle for the side of Team Silly Monkeys for the first one.
Yeah, that's definitely not really a good sign, man. You know, most of the time, this is also one of the reasons why I kind of really hated the Guinevere into the roam position, because you are really not that tanky to go for the front lines to get to be the damage circle here, especially when you are trying to play a Yuzhong. You might need a hero that is very, very tanky onto that front line so that you'll be able to enable up your backlines as much as possible. But onto the other side there, I feel like Kohima All-Stars are doing a really good job in trying to chase them away from their own jungle, where we'll be having a very, very high goal deficit. He's not really having the good time of his life, especially when he's onto a hero like the Lunar, who needs a bit of a snowball, right? Early game not really going well, but still, maybe he will be able to get the farms he's required, and only then he will come online.
Yeah, I mean, see, the early game, they need to really prioritize how they want to flow around the map. Especially for Silly Monkeys, they need to find a footing out here. They do not have too many ways to just, go and be aggressive from the get-go. Their Claw needs to get farmed. They do have the, the Zetian, but the damage will not be enough for them when it goes to against the tanky heroes. The Zetian also needs at least an item to deal enough damage. For the Leomord, he needs to find some more farm, because the moment he goes in, he will be just get bombarded with the crowd control that he have. Jackie takes a lot of damage, even though that's a Yuzhong. You can see a goat really have better damage than him for now, but then again there's a dive coming in from Cody Cutie. They wanna deal and steal away the jungles, and I think they were able to do so, but Neo 1v1 against Jackie, who did not have the Black Dragon, and I think he was not prepared for that.
He did not even want to use it at that point of the time, so no butterfly being used as well. This is tough, man. This is kind of tough. The Yuzhong who really doesn't have that early game will definitely be lacking in the sustain, and you cannot really do that. Kian also, he's just getting on the. This is, oh man. Don't
looks
make me wrong.
It looks like they're overwhelmed at this point, looking at their opponent. There's gonna be the Phantom Steed going, but the buff will be secured by Noir, but I think he cannot get out, isn't it? He gets taken down. Blue mounting on it is like just enough. But there comes the dive as well from the Neo. Gets 2 members turned up. They take down Dazai. Kian is trying to run. Jack is there, but he's unable to do anything. And the goal lane, they're still having their 1v1 battle out there, but the mid lane is completely chaotic. And the Turtle too, Kohima All-Stars, they will secure it.
You know, when you see that the lanes are dead, kind of dead, and you see the turtle, it will be dependent on who. Oh, wait, look at that.
Wait, they're still trying to take another fight. The turtle secured though, but Corey, what you doing, buddy? Why are you going all by yourself? Or do you get taken down? Rarin wants to still invade the jungle. That's the idea. The jump gets missed out. Jackie really low, is trying to run away, but they did not secure the buff yet. You can see another buff being exempted. Kazi trying to use the Blazing Duet, but you can see the damage not really flowing the way he wants. And Kohima All-Star, they have already overwhelmed their opponents. Silly Monkeys, they are dying. They're choking a slow death here.
This doesn't really look good, man. Everything hasn't been in favor of their side as well. Every time they try to go for a fight or a bit of an initiation, they are always gonna be caught lacking. But then again, this is the problem with the glue, right? When you do not have an answer for the glue, this is usually coming in. He doesn't really even have to go near Dazai to eventually pop his passive as well. He just have to spread his second skill, and that's already good. But then, looking at the lanes so far, everything has been taken down by the side of Kohima All-Stars. They are so ready to roll and rumble. Mid lane is what they want to actually focus on. And finally, Fate is out of his lane, getting him free from this imprisonment, which means the more they will be having more damage.
Yeah, they will have more damage, but on the contrary, Team Silly Monkeys, they do not have the damage necessary to take anybody down. Rarin goes in, there's another dive coming in. Jackie is getting stuck up there, does have the Black Dragon from, but can he use it? Is going to be the question. He does, but look at the damage, the shred coming through is almost nearly enough to take him down. The mid lane though is going to be falling, and Silly Monkeys, they're slowly not able to defend the turrets that they should be defending, because now the jungle becomes very open and vulnerable. Kaz is still trying to push from the bot lane, but Neo, he's onto something. He finds him. Skazi, you have to do that 1v1. He's trying to deal the damage. Neo goes into the bravest fight against stunned up, and that's like good night. And Kazi needs to be a good boy and go back to sleep.
is gonna have to take it like a good boy, bro. And 5k goal lead into the hands of Kohima All Stars here. Looking at the build so far, Sky Pacer for Fate. Surprising enough, he's not the one with the kills. And a Curse Helmet full build into the hands of Kori Cutie. I won't be surprised if we actually go for the glowing one as well. Talking about glowing ones, that's gonna be finally a glowing one to the hands of Dazai under 7 minutes of the game. Holy, this is not really a rich mate that we are talking about here at this point of the time. They are just slowly rotting away. Kohima All Stars is trying to take on onto this turtle again, and you know what? Even that Neo here, even if he try to go into this amongst these people, he will still be able to come out unscathed. He will not be able to get a kill, right? But he won't be dying too. So at this point, what will they even do?
I think at this point playing passive was one of the mistakes Team Silly Monkey did in the early game, because for that reason you can see both Witch and Kori has been so much haunting them around across the map, right? Anywhere they go, they're just always available there. And with this, the Holy Defense will pop as well. Botlane another 1v1. Neo is not really playing like a Lapu Lapu who plays on the EXP lane. He's like a golden Lapu Lapu at this point. This jump gonna connect, but not dealing enough damage. Fate was the target. It still has the Purify. You can see him so... Actually, Witch is out there. He uses the Purify to survive, but man, oh man, I don't know, like, the way Team Silly Monkeys are playing, this is not the way they usually play. This is very much of a passive gameplay that they're showing, and they're not able to go out the way they do. Like, trust me, the previous round Silly Monkey has been a different monster, but for this particular game, they're looking so tamed by the side of Team Kohima All Star. I hate to say this, but they need to pull up the big guns here if they have anything left in them.
Of course they will have everything left and that they can pull in off something like this. But then again, if you talk about the way that Kohima All Stars were playing, they're just not, letting them do anything. City Monkeys are just, trying to take the scrapes that has been left by Kohima All Star, and that's really not enough for them to even get the bills in. Fate is so returned to the goal here. Whenever he's trying to get at this engages, he will be able to get those damages and get a kill or two and walk away with it too. And no Trinity just yet, just the DHS. Oh my god, this is so sad. DHS only into the hands of Kazi under 10 minutes of the game already, and this is not really a good sign. Finally, that's gonna be the golden stuff. No Trinity just yet, but man, Kohima All Stars, they're just playing with their food.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they're doing anything special, right? It's just them doing whatever they need to do. But again, Kori might be just getting stuck up. Then finally, they're going in aggressive. Nice Neo, but he's trying a white 1v4. What the heck is this dude? He takes down one, he survives through all, but now Jackie dives in, but he still gets out alive out of that. Call me crazy if you do, but Neo is even much more crazier than I am. But what it's like a one-man army at this point, and the skins also like does him justice, But then again, another Phantom Steed coming through. You can see the side of Team Silly Monkeys, they're trying to hold on. Raren is pretty low. He does have the Abrasive Strat still, and there comes the Pong, but it misses out. They will be able to take him down. Neo is there, Fate is there too, along with the Witch. But can they take down the turret? They have already been successful in taking down the inhibitor, but now the Lord is marching. They need to clear it down. A good jump coming in. They have the Purify, but they're not using it. But Neo once again goes in. Kian falls, blazing to it, but onto is nobody. The stun connects from Neo, and Dazai is pretty low, does not have the passive. There comes Kori, he takes him down, and they're still trying to hold it on. Jackie gets mounted on by Kori, and he falls finally. Noir is still trying to hold the front line. At this point, it's just looking like Team Silly Monkeys might be able to pull off a defense here, but Kohima All Stars, they are just, I don't know, they just wanted to commit everything that they have out there.
Bit of a troll, I would say, from Mr. Corey Cutie out there, trying to get a mount onto a hero like the Yu Zhong. You really don't want to do that, man. But isn't it funny? Like, we have for Kohima All Stars, they have like 4 players who are into the top 8, right? MLMS player. And the guy who wasn't there is the one carrying it. Neo.
Okay.
Well, shout out to my goat. He's still doing that.
Okay. Relax, Debbie, relax. The game is not over yet. There's still some signs of life from the side of Team Silly Monkeys. But them being silly will not help them win this game. They're against the All-Stars, and the All-Stars, they're showing why they are the stars here. They're shining much more brighter than the monkeys here. But the monkeys, they need to evolve. They need to get into the King Kong mode if they want to win. And then again, another dive comes through. You can see the stun connects. Corey is getting knocked up. He's still very low. Will lose his immortality. The Black Dragon there too. The damage getting through. Very good stun coming in from Jackie. The Blazing Duet too, dealing a lot of damage, but nobody falls yet. Corey gets the mounted off with the grab, but he eventually falls. Rarin is low, so he needs to back out. The rest of the team, they do not want to continue this chariot any longer. They are backing off now. And another defense pulled off by Team Silly Monkeys. They're on to something, but how long can they hold on?
9k gold lead is what they have. Oh my god, look at this goofy skin.
I like all the angles that is being shown from, man. Yeah. Love the streamer. Yeah.
Who knows what to serve as? Definitely not a good place to be dead in, right? It just says a lot about where you were. He's just showing at this point, Mr. Corey. But the lore is gonna be up again. This might eventually become a contest for Silly Monkeys, because if will they be able to defend this again? Because it's still definitely not going to be the Evolve Lord just yet, right? But they don't have inhibitors anymore. The only thing standing is their base, and that's keeping them alive in the game is still 13. Never mind, they're not going to be doing anything. They're just going to be bursting it down. So, falling back to their own battleground, how will they defend this now, man?
That's a very important question. I hope I had the answer here, Debbie, but I don't. I hope Team Silly Monkey, they do, because with a goal lead that they have, nearly 9k, soon to be 10k, I think it's pretty difficult to have a comeback, because first of all, you do not have the inhibitor turrets, you do not have enough level on your heroes, the items are lacking, and with the Lord, you have the 6th member from Team Kohima All-Stars. Man, oh man, this is looking like an impossible feat, but if they can pull it off, man, oh man, their story will be written in golden letters. So let's see, what does Team Silly Monkey have here? The Lord marching through. Silly Monkeys, they're bracing themselves for the inevitable. Neo goes in with the bravest fighter. Black Dragon out. There comes the freeing of the Phoenix. The Lord still held on. The Blazing Duet with the crown is going there, but Jackie falls first. They're still trying to hold it on. The members getting lower than they should, and it's not going to be a possible defense coming through from Team Silly Monkeys, because Kohima All-Stars, they are not the fallen stars, they are the rising one. But wait, they have already risen above everyone, so man, what am I even saying? Just take the victory and go back home, guys. You guys are just doing cheat codes out here. This is like side quest for them.
Yeah, fate shouldn't be allowed in this tournament, man.
Yeah, cheating, man.
Cheating. Neo, see, I told you. The one who is in MLMS is the one carrying the team. W Neo, man, a shout out to him.
Yep.
On the Lapu, by the way.
Idol Neo.
Idol Neo? Maybe. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
he's in Darwin's game, but he wasn't in MLMS, right? So, shout out to Neo,
Yeah.
man. Carrying this pro player is definitely a good sign. But Silly Monkeys,
Absolutely.
though, they put up a fight, almost defending it long enough. It was 40 minutes of the game. If it hit like minute 16 or 17, I think it could have been so much better for Kazi here. He was able to dish out those damages that are required, right? The DHS helped him a lot into those team fights. But then again, when they are so ahead, right, for Kohima All-Stars,
Mhm.
it's going to be so tough to dish out the damage. But shout out to my goat as well, man. The most damage
Yeah.
dealer.
Done, Debbie, done. You have given a shout out more than I remember now. But it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that we have almost met most of the players from the side of Team Kohima All-Stars by now. I mean, I have personally. So I know them at a personal level. So I think they're very happy about this. They are all really good friends from a very, very long time. Even before these teams were created, they used to play together, and they are very good friends. So I think they're happy to be back together playing under the same team. But for Team Silly Monkeys, like I said as well in the beginning of the game, during the mid game too, this was very much uncharacteristic from their end. They should not be getting overwhelmed by their opponents. They have a lot good synergy as to win a lot of tough games, but this particular game, it was very passively played. They let a lot of leeway for Team Kohima All-Stars, and that's where they kind of choked inside their own jungle, and eventually they were running out of resources to even get a comeback done.
Yep, that was actually very, very tricky to play too as well. The longer the laning phases was, the better it was for the Cloud actually. But then they weren't able to pull something off like that because it kind of became a bit of a mentality as well. But they did put out a good fight. But this will be for unfortunately their end journey. But congratulations to Kohima All Stars.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was the best of one, ladies and gentlemen. So, our one of the crowd's favorite team, Silly Monkeys, they cannot get a second chance. It's going to be Team Kohima All Stars moving to the next round. That is going to be the semi-finals, which will be played soon, most likely tomorrow, which is going to be a best of three. So, we do have the 4 teams that have won today, and all eyes on them because from the 4 of them, 2 of the teams will be going to the grand finale, which is going to be a LAN event, and it's going to be quite fun for them because the TXG Expo has made everything, all of it possible, right, Debbie? And we are so happy to see this opportunities being brought to Nagaland, and they should not be just stuck in Nagaland. They should be even expanding more. So do make sure that you hit them up, follow them up, because if you are staying updated with them, then you can also be part of the future tournaments. And also don't forget the event organizer, that is Nagaland Esports Society. A huge shout out to them for making everything possible together with TXG Expo. They are doing a phenomenal job in making this seem effortless and bringing us such good opportunities to cast as well and enjoy in a way that we haven't yet before, because with all the serious game going around from MLMS, MS Mythic Showdown and everything, all other community events, I think this is quite refreshing to watch, where we see different players from every team coming together and showing what they can do, even though they are with a different team. But again, this was it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Thank you for joining in. And thank you for being part today. Do make sure that you hop in tomorrow for knowing which teams will be heading to the next round. And I would be really happy to give Debbie one last moment before we just wrap it up to let her express her thoughts before we just call it a night.
What kind of thought? I'm just happy that we got today very close. And
one more shout out.
No more shout out.
Okay.
Shout out to Steamview, shout out to Twilight. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, shout out to Debbie as well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It was lovely having you here. But do make sure that we will see you tomorrow. So stay tuned. Goodbye.